Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Into the Breach. Today we're taking out the last of the standard squads, the Flame Behemoths, and I really like these guys, but to be fair, this was the first team I bought in my personal file, and then I have not played them again since that. So this was the second team I ever played, and maybe when I use them now that I have a better grasp for what's good in the game, I'll think they're bad. It's possible. I've definitely heard some people say that they do not like these guys. So we have the Flame Mech, who has a flamethrower, which sets a tile on fire, pushes the target in that tile one space, and then it does 2 damage if the enemy was already on fire before you used it. So this will take a little bit of setup to get maximum effectiveness out of. We also have here the passive that makes your mechs immune to fire. I don't think that this is super good. It's pretty easy to avoid setting yourself on fire. And as we've seen multiple times, it's also pretty easy to just deal with being on fire, so we might end up getting rid of this once we have some bonus health. We have the Meteor Mech, which does no initial damage, but lights the tile on fire and pushes away adjacent tiles. There's an upgrade that makes this do 2 damage on impact, which makes it pretty strong, I think. And finally we have the Swap Mech, which just swaps places with an adjacent thing, although, as you might imagine, there are range upgrades available. And I spent some time looking at the Time Travelers. I think we're going to roll with Lily Reed. And the reason for that, we're going to put her in this, is that I think the Swap Mech, it's really important that it get to a place where it can do something valuable the first turn. It's really easy for the Swap Mech not to have a good play right away. And it having +1 base move, +3 more move on the first turn, will mean that it can get basically everywhere on that first turn. So we'll be able to set up good swaps into fire or off of cliffs into water, that kind of stuff. So I think I like her on here, and she rolled really well. Reactor move is usually what I want. Although there are a lot of mechs that benefit from some HP as well. So our achievements: teleport a unit 4 tiles away. That's just upgrade your swap mech all the way. End a battle with 12 tiles on fire. 12 is a lot, but the flamethrower does get range upgrades that cause it to set multiple tiles on fire. And then I think we're going to wait and do the Archive Island pretty late in the run. So hopefully we can, have some cool tools by then and use the Vec dealing damage to forest spaces in conjunction with our fire stuff to get this. And finally have 5 enemies on fire simultaneously. It'll come. I suspect this one's actually easier to do on hard than it is on normal, due to the enemies on hard often having more health. There's a lot more alphas and stuff. On normal, I bet stuff burns to death too quickly to get this a lot of the time. And finally, we're going to be going after Chronophobia today, because this is the last of the global achievements that requires us to play in a specific way. Once we have this, we can really just focus in on our squad achievements, and that'll be important for randomized and customized, which have some weird achievements that require you to play in specific ways. So this is going to be a little bit tough, because not only does this mean that we're not going to get any time pod rewards for 3 islands, but it also means that our first 3 islands will not be perfect, because defending the time pod is a mission objective for time pod missions. So we might have to do 4 islands to hit our maximum strength. I don't know. We'll see at the end of the 3rd island how things are looking. We also still have this global achievement to do, and I'm not... it's a little bit luck-based. Somebody gave me a hint. I know at least what we're looking for. So we'll see. We'll see if it gets done. It's not really up to us. So anyway, I think that's all the talking that needs to be done. Let's go set everything on fire. Also, Lily's very upbeat, and I think that helps. And morale is important. So she came with a free reactor. Yep, we're going to use that for +1 range. And let's have a look. So we have the Blast Scion on Archive Inc. That's fine, I guess. I do hate the Blast Scion. We have the Bonus Health Scion and the Robot Leader here. Armor Scion and Spider Leader here. That sounds miserable. And the Healing Scion and the Beetle Leader here. You know what? Why don't we do this first? The Healing Scion's really annoying. Well, I'm wondering if maybe we should leave it until we have a little bit more capability then. I want to get it out of the way, sort of deal with it early. But we might want to have an island of development behind us before we try to deal with it, because obviously the healing really interferes with all the fire. Why don't we start... This is also going to be really annoying. Why don't we start here? This island's not usually too difficult. The armor scion is also something I like getting out of the way early. So let's do this and open up the rest of the island here. Freeze and defend both robots. Probably we can do that. Oh, that's true. There are forests on this, on the other islands. It's just there's so many more on the first one. So this is an artillery mech, and we probably want to use it the way we've been using our artillery mechs, which is to say, find it a nice open row or column to run on. So if we put Lily pretty far forward, I think she may actually be able to reach every space from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, she can actually get to everywhere on the map as long as we put her sort of central at first. So we can solve this easily enough. Obviously, I can just teleport my way out of it, but we have to be careful not to make things much worse while doing that. So, how do we deal with this? We could just have the artillery shoot fire right here. We have to move our flame mech first. But that would push this guy off to a position where he's no longer doing anything, and push this robot onto the spawner. That's no good. I think I'm just going to swap places with him. That'll it doesn't let us take advantage of her early movement, but it will let the flame mech set this guy on fire, which will kill him eventually. You know, at the beginning of his turn. It'll let the freeze tank freeze this thing. And we can just use the... Actually, we should freeze this thing and just use the fire mech to push this guy out of the way. Actually, once I've swapped, probably the thing that makes the most sense is to do this. Yeah, this guy just moves to, I don't know, somewhere where unfortunately he can't block a spawn. Let's see, we're gonna do this. Yeah, this guy just needs to be somewhere. I can't be here. Oh no, I can't. We already discussed this. I can't push him here. That's not safe. Yeah. SB, remember all of the things that you figured out about the level, not just some of them. Lily, I know, but you gotta stop being impressed by it at some point. This is a good sign that I'm already having this much trouble, right? Now we could drop the fireball here and push this guy to this space now, because it would free Lily and let her teleport him to somewhere else. Actually, I like that a lot, because that means Lily ends up blocking the spawner. I do still have to move my my fire mech first. But unfortunately, I can't really move my fire mech to a place that's going to let him kill. This enemy just lives, and I don't get to do anything about that, which is a little bit of a shame. Yeah, all right, just kind of get central, be ready for stuff. Okay, so we're gonna swap you down to here, I think, and then freeze this guy. And I'm going to start a fire right here. Yeah, that'll show him. This mech is just crying out for attention. Man, this guy's attack sets stuff on fire. It's not totally inconceivable that we get our 12 squares on fire achievement here, right? Like, okay, so I think Lily wants to move to here and then swap with that guy. The fire will kill him. Unfortunately... Oh no, we totally can freeze this robot this turn. We have 4 move once we've done the swap. And then this guy just pushes you into the water, I think. That doesn't solve this. Oh, but it does leave me with the meteor mech hasn't taken an action in that plan, so we just, like, meteor mech here. Yeah, I like that. Sets more spaces on fire. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it to 12. And 12 looks very doable, though. Alright, well, this is not exactly terrifying. They could be putting a lot more effort in, it feels like. So we probably like push this guy down so that he dies when he blocks the spawn. And then once again, I can just swap this guy into the fire the same way I did with the last guy. Seems pretty straightforward. And it has turned out to be the case that the fire immunity has been important here. And then you can just, like, freeze a building. Oops, no, don't do that. Do it from here. May as well give ourselves a little bit of insurance. But that Vec really showed that mountain who's boss. Very single-minded creatures, the Vec. That seems like a no-brainer. And then, what else? I mean, I don't think we can kill this guy no matter what we do. Actually, we can rack up a little bit more XP by just doing this. Let this guy die to the fire instead of the Vec damage. And this lets us get a couple of XP worth of, or a couple of kills worth of XP. And then, once again, his plan kept not working, but he just kept at it. You gotta admire that consistency, I suppose. Yeah, and we ended up with 8 spaces on fire there without even really trying. So once we have the range upgrade for the flamethrower, I bet it'll be pretty easy to get to 12. Alright, we do pretty much just have to take all of the rewards we can get, because without the Perfect Island bonuses, we're going to be significantly behind where I usually like to be. You know what, I'm going to maybe put you a little bit more central. Okay. We have to destroy that time pod. We have to break 5 buildings out of the ice, which I think should be pretty doable. So we can actually just let this happen. I'm not sure... Will it just shoot past the time pod without damaging it? I'm always so paranoid about the time pods, right, that I put a lot of effort into making sure we get them. Alright, we don't want to kill the Soldier Scion this turn. But I'll do this. Light you up. So he's either going to kill the time pod or break a building out of the ice, and either way I'm good. Oh, I kind of wish we had one more range. It would be cool to put this guy on the spawner. Yeah, I'll just do this. This is fine. Okay. The time pod does not get destroyed by attacks crossing it. They have to actually do damage in its space. We've never really had the opportunity to find that out before. You know, it strikes me that we don't actually have a lot of attacks that do direct damage. So we're going to need to, like, push Vec onto time pods to break them. At least some of the time. Alright, the pod's destroyed. Good for us. And then we'll just swap you over here. And unfortunately, Cinnabar doesn't really get to do a lot. We get to do this. So then this thing will burn for 1 and then splat when it blocks the spawn. That's pretty good. We're actually getting some value out of all this bonus health. So I'm not sure if we break buildings out of the ice by dealing fire damage, or by putting fire on them. So why don't we do this? Let's swap with this guy. So now he's breaking that building out. And let's try some stuff. Does this... I'm afraid this might not actually affect this building. Okay, that did break it out. That's 2. We'll go to 3, 4. So then we just have to do 1 more on the last turn. I feel pretty good about that. Would I rather... Yeah, I would rather do this. I'm all set on the enemies having bonus health. I'm done with that now. Okay, well, it looks like we're gonna make our goals pretty easily. Only 1 enemy is even trying to kill any buildings this turn. So let's see, you're on fire, but that's not quite good enough. Well, we can swap this guy into the water. Get a little XP that way. And then... Yeah, I was about to... I wasn't thinking about the fact that we needed to break a building out. I was going to put the shot here, push him into the waters. Hold on. Let's reset the turn and do all of the things we need to do. I need to break a building out, and it's not even that many things. Actually, attack order is such that we can just swap this guy into this position. And that's a kill. And then I'll, Can I get another kill? I can set this guy on fire and slam him into there, but that doesn't actually... It's the same number of total kills. I guess it guarantees that none of the XP goes to Lily, because this kill will distribute the XP randomly. This one gets it for sure on the flame mech. That's probably a better way to go. Okay, and we're all good, and we can just go ahead and break this building out. Okay, good. There was almost certainly a way to get a kill while doing all that. Once again, 8 fire squares without even really trying. Alright, we definitely want to take Pinnacle Garden, and then we'll see which of these Star plus Power missions we want to do afterward. Alright, so on this mission, the factories, I believe, just, produce robots endlessly. And the robots are not friendly to us, and we don't have to save them. Don't actually care if they die, so that's important to remember. Now let's see, how do we want to do this? It's pretty easy for me to get this guy to block this shot. We can use the swapper to swap this guy somewhere, crummy. Right, like an artillery shot here deals with that. And then I can have Cinnabar just come down here and set this guy on fire. I don't want to actually block his shot myself. Oh, you should do your move first, probably. Get some damage down here. I guess I can have the swap mech deal with this. But that means the swap mech gets shot. We're probably just blocking a spawn. Oh, wait a second. I'm like acting in a way that's going to leave a whole bunch of damage happening. So actually, we use the swap to deal with this. Yeah, we use the swap to deal with this because I need to take that damage to prevent it from going onto a building. And then you can do this to get that kill, and that protects the other building. There we go. I don't know what I'm thinking today. Lily, you're bringing too much pathos to the mission. You gotta take that down a notch. Okay. This is easy enough to deal with. I think I probably want to get rid of the Soldier Scion. Put some effort into that. So you're an Alpha Firefly. So we could like block this spawn. Do this. Not that I want these robots to survive necessarily, but swap this guy over to here so he blocks a spawn for us. And then the meteor mech just sets this robot on fire. Robots aren't immune to fire or anything, right? Yeah. If I had remembered that so many robots had projectiles that cause fire in spaces, I would have maybe done this island a little later. For the increased chance of getting the 12 spaces on fire. Okay, so this guy's dead. He'll burn to death at the beginning of the next enemy turn. So we don't have to worry about him at all. So what do we care about? This is pretty easy to deal with. Although we don't want to do it by swapping him onto the spawn, because that obviously gets a building shot. But all we have to actually do is step out of the way. So we'll set you on fire. We'll step to the side here and just bounce you off this mountain real quick. You're dead already. And Lily just Actually, I guess she should do it in a more central location, though. We'll just block a spawn and heal. Yeah, you're dead. You're dead. You can die next turn. Yeah, okay. This guy's dead already. He came up with 1 health into a fire. Well, once again, I think we're looking at a pretty straightforward play here. Trying to figure out, can we kill everything? I could... Yeah, I think so. So if we move to here, and we fire on this guy... Actually, how much movement does the... Flame Mech only has 3 move. So actually we want to do this like this. Push you up into a fire. Oh wait, that doesn't make things any better. I was going to be able to kill all 3 of the Vec, but I kind of forgot about that robot. We have to also kill that robot. So that being the case, let's kill that robot. And then this guy's already dead. Yeah, we'll just have Lily do a swap here. So this guy dies, this guy dies, this guy dies when he gets shot, and we have to leave one alive. We miss 1 XP. Yeah, alright. It's not totally ideal, I guess. I'll take it. It's good enough. Okay, so let's see here. We got robotics repair, end the battle with less than 4 damage, and protect the power generator in an ice storm. I do like the ice storm. Take less than 3 grid damage with enemies breaking out of the ice. We've seen that before. Let's do the ice storm version, I guess. I think this is the best one for us. This is a little awkward. Not actually a lot of rows or columns that are super clear. Oof, this is a bad spot for the ice storm to be in. Yeah, that's crummy. Okay. If we move this guy over, he'll only do 1 damage on the attack. If we could find a way to also kill the Soldier Scion, that would result in his death, but we can't, right? So we're not actually very good at killing things quickly. I guess I could use Lily to swap the soldier into this space. And then Flame Mech here to do a damage to this guy and set you on fire and do a damage by pushing you in here. And then that works. And that means no enemies are taking any... It does mean that our Flame Mech gets frozen. Actually, no it doesn't. It means that we couldn't have done that by pushing you into him anyway. I can still do it by... Nope, I was going to say I could do it by moving to here and block a spawn and just push him into the Leaper, but no, I cannot. I'm not fast enough. So... we can just swap the Leaper into the ice. That solves that problem. We could just do a shot here. I was initially not thinking that was a very good idea because it pushes this guy onto this space, which means he's actually targeting the generator. But then we can just swap him onto a spawner. So like that fixes this problem. Let me do that, and I might even just let our Flame Mech get frozen, because it lets us set this guy on fire, and I don't want to deal with him. Just not have a Flame Mech for 1 turn until it repairs itself out of the ice, because otherwise it's not really accomplishing very much. Yeah, let's just set this guy up for failure. I think that's fine. Okay, that's handy. This is actually kind of unfortunate that the ice storm is happening on him again. So... okay, fire damage happens before environmental damage, so the Scion will die. Which means this guy loses 1 max HP. But he attacks before this one does. That's a shame. Well... so it's pretty easy to push this guy into the ice storm or into the water. We do have to deal with you. But like, even just swapping with this guy is good enough to handle the situation, right? Because like I said, he'll miss and then he'll get killed. Then all I have to worry about is this guy, who I can deal with by just setting him on fire, because he'll take one at fire time. Yeah, I don't think it's actually better to have him frozen. Oh, was that ice spot broken already? Or, you know what? Setting the ice on fire probably instantly melts it, huh? Okay, well then I guess we're good here. I'm just going to swap you in here. And the ice storm will fix that guy, and I guess we'll repair out of the ice only to be refrozen. I do like it when the ice storm hits a big group of buildings. Probably just finish that off. You get out of the ice and maybe actually get to do something this time. And then we'll swap this guy onto a spawner. Not a very eventful turn. Alright, how many more kills can we get this turn? We can take this guy down. Unfortunately, the ice storm refroze all the water. A little awkward. So we can set this guy on fire and then push him for the kill. But I can't do it by swapping him onto this fire, because our flame mech can't get to him. Which means that setting this guy on fire and then pushing him with the flamethrower uses both of our attacking mechs. This guy's going to freeze, so his attack can't be used to kill anybody. So basically, I think there's no version of this where I get more than one kill. That being the case, it doesn't really matter. Like, it does not matter which one it is. He's on the ice. I think what we just learned is that fire damage on an ice tile immediately destroys it, but it might push him first, I guess. Yeah, it did. Okay. You are going in the water, buddy. And then you can just, like... Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's the 2 kills. Make some water drop that guy into. Unfortunately, that actually didn't get us any XP, because Lily's maxed out. Okay, so we already don't have a perfect island. We don't need to break our backs going after the bot leader. It would be cool to kill him, but it's not gonna be the end of the world if we don't get him. It'll just be 1 star we don't get. Well, this is awkward. Let me see here. It's going to be tough to deal very much damage to him, I think. So I'm not so worried about this. We can deal with robots getting broken out of the ice. I could... Man, this is tough. So we're gonna have to push this guy backward with the meteor mech. Swap this guy somewhere with the swap mech. And that somewhere has to be a place where I can set him on fire easily. I could, like, bring him to here. And that way I get to set him on fire while blocking a spawn. And for now, that's going to have to be good enough. This guy's dead next turn. I do need like a lot more flamethrower. We just need to be able to hit more tiles with the flamethrower. So any kind of setting this guy on fire is lethal. We could swap this guy down into this space and then shoot fire onto him to not only... Well, I guess it wouldn't set him on fire because it's going to drop him in the water. But it'll also push this guy back against the mountain and solve that problem. But then I need... Yeah, then that leaves the flame mech to deal with 2 enemies. The thing is, I can't actually... Right, there's 4 enemies here that need to be dealt with in order to protect all of the buildings. And we actually can't do that, because that's not the way the game works. So... What's the attack order? Okay. If we fire a shot here, then we swap this guy forward. And then do this. Now we've got all of our buildings protected, because the bot leader will kill this guy. Unless, I'm not 100% sure how his thing works. If damaged, this unit will shield itself and prepare to heal. I think that's what he does with his action if he's not at full health. But if he does it as a response, I can't remember what happened last time we fought him, if the shield was immediate or not. If he does it as a response to him taking fire damage, he might not shoot his attack. I don't think that's how it works. I think this is going to be fine. Okay. And you're dead from the fire. So we're doing fine here. Unfortunately, this is a real problem. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way for us to kill him. Because he's in there, but he's still on fire. The shield did not remove the fire like I assumed it would. Which means that we can still flamethrower him pretty hard. So I'm trying to work out if there's a push or swap play that gives us a good shot on him. I think the answer is no. The flame mech's just too far away. We could go fetch our flame mech. That's not terrible, actually. Like having Lily just go and get him. Oh, but the damage is just... It's not... I'm not going to do any damage. I'm just going to remove the shield. Yeah. That doesn't help at all. Let's go ahead and reset the turn. So we can kill this guy pretty easily by dropping a flame shot on him and then hitting him with the flamethrower. Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot else going on here. If I could push this guy into something to break his shield, then we could do 2 damage to him, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think there's a play that does that. Because like I could shoot him here and bounce him into the swamp mech, but I can't. Crucially, I cannot do all the things I need to do damage to him and also stop this guy from damaging that building. At this point, a reputation might be worth getting over a power, because we have lots of power. We could use the reputation to buy things that are not power. Things like a weapon. But it's probably not worth getting super upset over. Like, yeah, I don't think it's worth the trouble. Let's just do this. Okay, so you're dead. And then, like, block a spawn, probably? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and there's only actually one enemy. That makes things easier. How do I want to do this? I mean, I could just move to here and shoot the corporate tower. And then we can get some XP on this. Okay, it was worth a level up. Not super exciting, but it's an okay island. We're going to get 3 okay islands, basically. Okay, +1 mech move is a nice thing to unlock on a pilot. So we end the first island with 8 reputation and no free cores. Ooh, I do like the shield array. That might be worth buying. The spear is also very good. But like what we might... Ooh, actually... but the acid tank, the acid's not going to be super effective because acid only doubles weapon damage, and most of our damage is not direct. So it could be like shield array for the swap mech, a grid power, and 2 cores. Our development's definitely going to be a little bit on the slow side. Ooh, you can give the acid tank a push. Having a thing running around pushing enemies is pretty good. So what, acid tank and 2 reactor cores? It's not like we never do weapon damage, and we could use the acid to make the Vec double damage each other as well. Yeah, we had so much fun with the tank last time. Let's go like that. So how do we want to use this? Well, we might not actually be able to turn this thing on right away. It's like I really did want to get this. Oh, I could still sell the flame shielding? That's not gonna... 1 reputation doesn't help us very much. Never mind. I'm not sure who would get this. You know, there are turns where he doesn't really have anything to do. We can just we can move this onto anybody. But it does cost a power. Well, maybe like this is what we do then. Or even let's move this over onto the push mech so that this reactor is installed here so that it can help us toward the +2 range. Okay, and the first reactor core we get after this, like there'll be a mission on the next island probably that has a reactor core as a reward. We'll use that to buy the first point of range for this. Yeah, okay, I think we're doing alright. It's gonna hurt not having any perfect islands. We're gonna be probably about 2 reactor cores behind where we'd like to be per island. So yeah, it may well end up being that 4 islands is the right way to go here. But anyway, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. We're going to continue setting the world on fire. And we'll see you then.